All right, so this is solving equations with variables on both sides. I only have 5 minutes, so I'm just going to get right to it and do some examples and explain what's going on. So I'm going to start with this one here. The objective with solving equations with variables on both sides, before you can start to solve them, all the variables have to be on one side. So using this first one, very easy, quick example. I've got an x over here and an x over here. I need to get them on the same side rather, and I'm going to do that either by adding or subtracting. It's a good rule of thumb to move the smaller of the two variables, that is, the one with the smaller coefficient. It doesn't matter if you don't, but that's a good rule of thumb. So looking at these two, I've got negative 4x and positive 3x, equal sign here. I'm going to move this one to this side. I move it by adding 4x to both sides so that now my problem is negative 6 equals 7x plus 1. And then I go through with solving it the way I do any two-step equation. The second one I want to talk about is this one over here, number 6. So you guessed it with this one. Do you see it? Do you see it? On this one, what do we have right there? You guessed it. It is a piranha. Right there. Negative in front of the parentheses. It's a piranha. So be careful. And watch me as I do this because I'm liable to mess it up with all these negatives here. So first thing we want to do is the distributive property, just like we do in multi-step equations. So first I'm going to distribute that, negative 18 minus x. Then I'm going to distribute the 2 to get 22 minus 2, that's 2 times 6 is 12, x. And I do not distribute the 2 over here to this x because it's outside the parentheses. Next, I'm going to simplify. So negative 18 minus x equals 22 minus 11x. Now, just like in the one over here, I need to move all the x's to one side. It's preferable to move the smaller x. Well, right here I have negative 1x, and here I have negative 11x. Which one's smaller? Well, negative 11x is the smaller of the two, so I'm going to move that, and I move it by adding 11x to both sides. So then I get negative 18 is equal to, negative, wait a minute, moving too fast. Negative 18 plus 10x equals 22. And now this is just a simple two-step equation. Add 18 to both sides and divide by 10. I might have missed something in there, but I might have missed some numbers in there, but my process is fine. So I want now to talk about this one. We talked about shortcuts in class, and I'm going to use a shortcut to make this problem a little bit easier. Nope, I'm not. I'm just going to distribute this to start with because I don't want to multiply both sides of this thing by a crazy fraction. So I'm just going to distribute the 2/3, and I'll get 6x minus 3 equals negative 4 plus 8x. I need to move all the variables to one side. Let's move the smaller one. The reason I want to use the smaller one is because the chances that I'll be left with a negative variable are greater if I move the larger of the two. And if I can avoid a negative, I'm going to. So here, I'm going to move 6x over here. If I moved 8x, I'd end up with negative 8x on the left. When I combine those two, I'd end up with a negative 2. However, by moving 6x,